Another episode of U-Boat on board U-96. So last time out we did pretty well. It's our second episode now with the snorkel, which means we got more possibilities of taking down the enemy shipping. So we did alright last time, and hopefully we're going to have a repeat of that this time. So we're heading back out to the happy place. We've got a war correspondent on board, so he'll want us to give him a little bit of information along the way. But really the main priority is to get out there and sink as much tonnage as we can. So stay tuned for that. So a quick look at the map. We're heading out here towards the Celtic Sea, and we've got a notification here that the correspondent wants to talk. So we'll get the captain on over and see what he's got to say. So just some formalities of welcoming him onto the boat. Very good. Welcome aboard, mate. We'll see what we can do for you along the way. Hopefully we'll answer all the questions right. I know there is a couple of funny ones in there. I don't really know what the answers are, but we'll do our best. So we're heading up here to the Celtic Sea, just below Ireland, out to the happy time. So let's have a look at that. So we've done 122,000 tons. So if we can get close to 200, that'll be very good. So here's hoping. Let's see what we can achieve when we get there. Well, we're just plotting out a course to select here to get around. There's a little bit of propeller noise that I have spotted around. Most of it seems to be heading towards the UK. Not really the best spot for us right now, as we have to chase, but we will do that. We'll come and see what this thing is here. That's just a lone ship, and we've got our guy here who's got more questions for us. Let's see what he has got to say this time. He wants to know about the engineering U-boat, about the compressed air and stuff, so we should probably say probably number 2, I would imagine. That there's 5 ballast tanks that help us to go up and down, so he seems curious about that. Yep, so bit of progress there for him, so we'll carry on pursuing this. Hopefully we'll find some larger targets. He's got another question already. Is he keen? Okay, he wants to... Okay. Yeah, number 1. Most important to blow the ballasts, and we got that one right. That's good. Alright, we'll keep chasing this thing down. We'll see what it is, and if we can, we'll probably use the deck gun, and if not, we'll probably just have to use the torpedoes. Okay, so it's flying a Norwegian flag, so we'll just have to leave that be. But there is plenty around here. Seem to be some good shipping lanes, so we'll just stay in the area, and I'm sure something will pop up soon enough for us. Seems to be some large convoys, but again they're heading away from us, so that's no good. Well, we've got a lone ship here somewhere. There it is. So we'll just close in on this and take a look, and hopefully it's, well, it says it's British, so that's a good start. Looks like some sort of tanker there. I was going to say Empire, but it looks like a tanker. So it looks like we're going to kick things off with some deck gun action, and we'll get this thing sunk down to the bottom, and hopefully we can pick ourselves up a nice big convoy after this. But to kick it off, we're up on the deck gun in the rain and some high seas, but we'll get into it. Well, that looks to be the end of that. She has blown herself to pieces and the flooding is done. Shipping is sinking. So there we go. That's a good start for us. I am tracking a pretty decent sized convoy as well to the north. And we've got aircraft here, so we do have to be careful. That's why we've got the snorkel, so we can stay under the waves. So there is a pretty decent sized convoy heading along that line that we've painted. There we go, 10 to 22 ships. So we are going to try and meet up with that somewhere in the middle and we will begin picking them off. Okay, we are here with the convoy and we have eyes, and there is a C3 here. There's actually some pretty big ships in this convoy so far. There's another C3. What have we got over here? Another C3. So we are going to be getting some tonnage today if they carry on like that. So we'll just do a quick course check, see where we're at, and we'll begin our attack very shortly. So we'll just use our protractor here, and that's given us 110, so we take that away from 360, and that leaves us with 250. So they're on a heading of 250 degrees, and we will move in nice and slowly. We'll probably stop here actually and just let them move in a little bit. We'll just crawl in. Just a little bit wary of this escort closest to us, but we are quite far away from it at the moment, so we should be alright. So we'll just get into the scope, take a quick look, and we're looking for a C3 to start with, I would say. We're probably a little bit far to be trying to pick multiple targets, but we will go for something substantial to begin. And then we're just going to coast along with the convoy and we'll just pick them off one by one. So 250, it's a C3, distance check, looks pretty far, just out of range of a torpedo, but we're moving and so are they, so we might end up closing that distance quite quickly. And we'll stop the clock right about there. 5 knots, perfect speed for a torpedo attack. There's an escort there. That C3 is a bit far away. Just want to make sure I've got the right ship, because that first one's a little bit far. What's this one? Oh yeah, you're even further away. Is there one closer, or is it the one that we've got targeted? Oh, there's a nice big tanker there as well. And there. Shit, there's heaps of good opportunities here. So it looks like it is the right ship that we're going for. So we just need to wait until that's 5,000 away at the most, and then we can launch. Otherwise our torpedoes won't make it. They can only go 5,000 meters. But we should be able to close this distance fairly rapidly. And we can just keep checking this. So far we haven't been spotted. So we'll just check again. And how far away are you? Just over 5,400. Okay, so we are closing slowly. We'll get them flooded. And then we'll just bide our time, and as soon as that gets to 5,000, even 5,100 should be okay, because by the time they close and keep cruising on, then we should be able to at least make that. But we don't want to risk it being over 5,000 by too much. Yeah, so we could probably launch those around about now, but we'll give it a couple more seconds just to be sure. And hopefully we're going to get that C3 down straight away. Tick that one off, and there's plenty more shipping in here that we can be dealing with, so let's get away with that. We'll launch these torpedoes off as soon as we can, and then we'll just keep stalking them, and we'll come in for a second attack. Probably try and pick off all the C3s. Unless there's any big destroyers, there's no real need to take out the escorts. Yeah, so that's pretty decent now. So I'd say we can fire those away. And bosh, 2 good hits there. Doesn't look like it did that much damage though. No fire or anything. A little bit of smoke and stuff, but it's not really looking critical. But you never know with these C3s. Sometimes it can be and sometimes it isn't. So one of the masts has fallen down. Damage is all the way down, and flooding is actually happening fairly fast too. So that is surprising. You can never gauge what happens with these C3s, but she is certainly going to be sitting dead in the water if not sinking. So we're off to a good start. We've already got a tanker and a C3, and there is plenty more on the menu here, so we will take all of what we can. Hopefully that C3 will disappear because I don't really want to have to do cleanup duty again. I just prefer to get them sunk if we can in one hit, but I would have had to launch 3 torpedoes at this thing to do that, to seal the deal. So we don't really want to be wasting a 3rd torpedo if we can just use a couple of shots out of the deck gun. That can be the difference between us getting up to that 200,000 ton mark that we were trying to achieve and not. So she should be all good. We'll just put a few markers down here on the map, and hopefully she won't cruise too far away from that, and we'll try and make our escape good, because these escorts are going to be trying to chase us down right now. So we will, she is drifting a little bit, but as long as we can avoid these escorts we should be fine, and we'll come in for a second attack very soon. Well, we're back with them, and there's a nice big tanker here. We'll take a look at it and we'll see what we want to do. We don't want to be looking at that. Tankers. What kind of tanker is that? It's got 2 masts. Looks like an old class to me. The big funnel at the back. A little bit of a stack in the middle. It's Portuguese. Now we don't want to be attacking that, so we'll go for the C3 again. If we can pick off all the C3s, that's kind of the armed ships, and those small escorts, if they can, we can maybe evade those a little bit later when the time comes. So for now we'll just go for the C3s, and if there's any other armed ships, don't want to be wasting torpedoes on those small escort ships though. So let's get our time check done and we'll see what speed she's doing. Hopefully they've calmed down by now. And stopping the clock right there, 5 knots, so they're back to cruising. So we will flood tubes 2 and 4, and we'll hopefully get a good hit here. A bit of a funny angle to be shooting at, so we'll let them just move forward a little bit more before we take our shot. We want to be firing almost at a 90-degree angle, just enough so at least the impact will be at 90 degrees roughly. We don't want to be chasing the boat, that's for sure. So we'll just do a quick distance check just to double check, and then we can get launching away. So hopefully get an accurate reading here. She's definitely close enough right now for an attack. Yeah, can't zoom in all the way. Well, let's get those fired away. Right, there we go, another 2 good hits on the C3. Hopefully just a repeat of what happened before, and she might sit here dead in the water. Damage isn't quite as great as it was on the first C3, but that's okay. It is quite substantial. No big fire though, just a small one. A couple of big black holes on the side of it though, isn't it? So that's good. Hopefully that damage will go down just a little bit more. And if she can sit here dead in the water again as well, then we'll be looking pretty sweet for the day. So there's still plenty of ships in this convoy. It's a huge convoy, and I'm yet to see a single destroyer. So we are... there we go, damage is all the way down. Yeah, we kind of just have free range to take whatever we want to take here, which is obviously very good. Those small escorts are easy enough to evade at the right times. As long as we don't get too close to them, we can just shift from side to side of the convoy. Every time we launch from one side, they'll go looking over there, and we go under and pop up on the other side and just keep repeating that process, and we should be pretty sweet. So this C3 looks like it's gonna be a repeat of last time, just sit here dead in the water. I'm not confident that it's gonna take on all that flooding. But so far we've done pretty well, 2 C3s and a tanker. So we should be looking pretty good by the end of it. There's plenty more in here for us to take. Unfortunately we can't take the tanker, this Portuguese one. That would be a good thing to get. And we are kind of, do we have the right to do it if they're sailing all together? There's potential that they're flying false flags, but we don't want to risk it. It's funny that this game doesn't want you to risk any diplomatic proceedings, and yet it's Germany, mate. We're at war with everybody. They don't care. So we're just going to go evasive. We'll put a few markers down here for this C3 as well, and we'll just try and evade these smaller escorts that are going to be hunting us. Okay, looks like this one's pinging us. So as long as you stay straight to what they're doing, it makes it harder for them to pick up you on sonar. So we'll just dive down a little bit deeper just in case they're going to launch some depth charges, and then we'll just have to put the speed up. So we'll just do our best to make sure we don't get hit with anything. Alright, they're dropping bombs, so time to change course and maybe alter our speed a little bit. If we go a little bit faster please, and shoot off over there, and we'll come back in a little bit further down the line that we've marked out here for another attack, but main priority is to try and stay alive. I think we should cope with that quite well. We are very deep and we're moving. We're obviously going to disrupt their own sonar now and hydrophone with the water bombs. So we'll just keep an eye out if there is explosions around us. Doesn't seem to be. It looks like they're quite far away, or maybe they're up a little bit higher, but we can't see anything. So I think we'll be alright. We'll get away with it this time, and we'll come back in and we'll just keep cruising along and keep trying to sink as much as possible. Just don't want to get into any surface engagements with these little escorts. They're quite dangerous. Well, we're still alive and we're back with them. It's getting a little bit dark now, but that's fine. I can use the cover of darkness for our attacks. They're still heading on the same course, which is all good for us. They haven't altered yet, so we will keep picking them off. Back on the C3s again. We'll get one launched away here. Try and take this guy down. I think there's a couple of C3s that are fairly close together, so we can try and pick both of those off. So we'll send tubes 2 and 3 away at this one, so just over 2 kilometers away, and we won't be going for that just yet. And here's another C3, so we'll lock that in. 5 knots, 250 degrees, and a quick distance check, and she looks like she's a lot closer than the first target, but should be just fine. Why can't I set that? Probably still locked on to that first ship actually, so we'll just reset that and have another go, and we'll do a quick check, and we should pretty much be able to fire almost immediately, and hopefully we'll get two ships knocked out here with a single attack. 2 C3s, so that'll be 4 C3s, hopefully all dead in the water. Okay, we got 2 hits on the first one, the closest one to us. And what's that? Oh, it looks like something's firing. It looks like we've been spotted by something, but I don't know what they're firing at. Fucking missing us by a mile, which is good. If they keep firing over there, then I can't be too disappointed. And are we going to get hits on this other C3, or maybe they've been made aware of what's happened now and we're changing their course? Probably going to go and evade. Oh, there we go, we got a hit. Got 1 hit. Only the 1 though, so unfortunate. So this C3 is not fully depleted of damage yet, so hopefully that is going to happen. But we'll keep an eye on these guys for now. There we go, she's going to sit here dead as well. So we've got 3 C3s so far sitting dead in the water, and I think we should keep moving. Yeah, we did actually miss with 1 torpedo there, so that's unfortunate. I don't know if 1's going to be enough to do the damage for us. We'll keep an eye on it though. I know it is. She's fully damaged, so we'll go with that. And I think it's probably best that we try and just evade all these ships that seem to have appeared out of nowhere, and then we'll clean up the C3s, I think. What's going on over here? Looks like is there a second convoy passing? There is. There's another convoy here. So we're in the middle of 2 convoys. Well, okay. So maybe a change of tactic here now that they've all gone over that way. We might see if we can poke our nose up and get another quick attack done. So we'll just mark out where our C3s are. We'll leave them to be. Maybe we'll go and see if we can make an attack on one of the ships in this other convoy, and we might be able to pick something off from there, and then we'll come back and do some cleanup. Alright, well, we're just looking at this other convoy here, and there's a few more big ships in there, so we'll take down what we can. Here we have a Liberty, so we'll do all the proceedings. Let's get the distance first, definitely within range. Do a quick speed check, and that will give us the speed of the whole convoy, which will make things a lot easier. And stop the clock, 8 knots. Yeah, they did look like they're moving pretty quick. I think they're still probably alert from previous attack. We haven't given them any time to settle down yet, but we'll do a quick check of their heading, and if there's one close enough, shouldn't really matter if they're going that fast. So maybe we'll take a look at this C3 here. Might be the better option. I think this Liberty cargo is probably just about too far ahead of us right now, so 68 degrees is the heading, but we'll go for the C3 because it's got more of a chance of getting a successful strike, and it also probably weighs a little bit more. Not too sure about that. I don't think there's much difference in the two, but they are on a heading of 68, and distance wise shouldn't be too far away. Yep, that's right. And we'll plug in, I think we'll go with 7. Hopefully by the time we've got the torpedoes over there, they've slowed down just a little bit. But tube 1 and 2, we'll get those fired off now. Okay, another 2 good hits. Damage is just about 50%. Not really a big fire. You don't get big fires on these C3s. I've noticed that. You do get a little bit of a blaze, but it's nothing major like you do on the Empires and the Liberty. But hopefully that damage will go down a little bit more, and that'll be another C3 sitting in the water for us to come up with the deck gun and do some cleanup. So I think officially the only thing we've sunk right now is the tanker, which we deck gunned in the beginning. We haven't actually sunk anything using torpedoes. There's just a lot of ships sitting dead in the water that we're going to have to go and relocate. That's why we put the markers down on the map, make that job a little bit easier. But as long as we've got a couple of torpedoes left, we may as well be using them. And I think we've probably only got 2 left, if I'm right. I do have tube 5, but I like to keep tube 5 just in case, because you never know what's going to happen if we stumble across something else or we need to get out of a situation. So the C3 here, the damage is going down a little bit more, and she is probably going to be sitting here dead in the water. So we will figure out one more ship that we can take down with torpedoes, and then we'll be on the cleanup duty, and we'll keep a couple of torpedoes in tube 5 just in case something does go wrong. It's always good to have a little bit of backup. But we'll go to try and sail under the convoy here, and we'll try and pop up somewhere else. So there's a few ships here for the taking, but all those other escort ships are to the south of us. They're still trying to look for us with that other convoy, so a nice distraction there. And yeah, we've got two torpedoes left. We're not loading any more, so it's only really going to be one more attack, and then it's all about cleaning up. So the C3 is definitely done for now. We'll put a few marks down, we'll get onto that, and right now we just need to make sure that we make it out alive. And we'll try and get up to the other side of the convoy. This guy is actually drifting quite a bit. Try and get to the other side of the convoy. We'll be pinged. That's not good. Hopefully we can avoid any contact with... Yeah, it's coming in, but we should be able to get away from that quite easily. And then we'll come in and we'll try and sink something else of decent size. So we've actually done fairly well so far. I reckon maybe this might be our new target. So we'll just try and stay alongside that and give them a moment to calm down. And then we'll surface up and come in for another attack. Okay, we're not wasting any time here. We're just going to get right on with it. We're pretty much exactly where we were before, but we are just a little bit closer. And we can't really get this wrong, so we'll just make sure that the solution's the best it can be. Just a quick distance check. They probably still are doing 8 knots because they'll still be freaked out from the C3. But we'll just get 2 torpedoes. We're so close that it doesn't really matter too much, but we'll just aim at the front just in case. And we should hopefully get 2 hits out of this, so fire it away. Well, that's what we like to see, a nice big fire on the deck and almost full damage, so that fire should take care of the rest of it for us. And Liberties do tend to go down after 2 torpedoes, so that should do the work for us. But it's nice to finally see an actual fire on the deck, and yet damage is full, so hopefully the flooding is gonna take care of itself. and that might be our first ship officially sunk with torpedoes, if that's the case, which would be good. Means we don't have to worry about deck gunning this thing down. Still plenty of stuff that we do need to deck gun, so the less we have to do the better. And there we go, damage is completely done and she is going down, and that confirms that we've achieved the total tonnage that was necessary, 10,000, but there's obviously still much more than that sitting out there in the water. So I think there's 4 C3s or something, so that must be nearly 30,000 just waiting to be sunk. So I think the best plan here will be to just evade all these destroyers, and we'll try and head back down to the south, start cleaning up, and it's just going to be a case of heading northeast, back up the line, and we'll clean up whatever we have there sunk or sitting dead in the water. It looks like all of these destroyers and things are moving on nicely. That's a good thing for us. A little group of warships here though. We better stop. We'll let them pass on through before we surface up. And all these other ships that are still cruising along are just going to probably make it to their destination, unfortunately. And we've got a single ship over here. What's this? It's another tanker of sorts. Maybe we could probably try and sink that if we can, if these warships keep moving away. Well, that should be enough to get rid of that C3, and this ship's coming right into our path, so we'll just move in a little bit closer, make sure we can actually be hitting it efficiently. Well, we can't be picking up any passengers just yet, but we're going to close in and we'll take down this ship, and we'll use the deck gun for that, and then it's a case of moving on, and there's so much cleaning up that we need to get on with after this, but it's nice to have a lone ship coming into our path again.
Hüllenbruch, Sie sinken!
Well, there we go. That's pretty much all the ships cleaned up. We've actually totally forgotten that we still have to travel our 2,000 or 2,500 kilometers in the patrol sector. So we haven't done much of that. We've done a little bit while chasing some of these convoys, but we need to complete those kilometers first, and then after that we can head on back to port and we can see how much we sunk, claim any medals and all that, and we'll get rearmed and re-established for the next outing. So far we've done pretty well. Pretty happy with how it's gone. Well, there we have it, 59,000 tons sunk, all done, and not a single enemy escort ship in there. We've achieved all of our objectives, so a job well done today. Well, that'll do it for the episode, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. So next time we'll be back out. I don't know where yet, but hopefully it's going to be just as impressive or more impressive. That's the aim. We always want to achieve a little bit more. So stay tuned and we'll catch you up in the next one.